It's fine. It'll be scrolling my
It only goes so far. If you come and look here, so you can see that I'm not. What? No, I'm just saying. Is it live already? Oh, yeah. I can't see. Then it's too high. I think you need to raise it so that then I can turn it down. Closer than close, deeper than deep inside your love. I wanna be higher than high, free my soul to fly. This looks good. I wanna be living inside your love. Woo! Should I turn on the light? Sing, child. I wanna hear the rhythm of your heart. Touch my soul. Promise me it will never be apart. I love you back, flawless. So share with me the mystery of this amazing love. How can it be? Show me the way to your heart. We're talking about love tonight, y'all. This love above all measure. 'Cause I wanna be living inside your love. Hey, I wanna be closer than close, deeper than deep inside your love. This is heaven. Hey, heaven. Wanna be higher than high, free my soul to fly. Let me know where you're signing on from. Get some friends on. We're going to do some relationship talk. Take some Q&A tonight. Tag people. Get them in here. Send me a badge if you love me. I love you forever. Yeah. I love you deep. I love you high. I love you wide. I love you forever. Closer than close, deeper than deep inside your love. You like the song? I'm so glad. Free my soul to fly. Heaven, yeah. I want to be closer than close, deeper than deep inside your love. Yeah. I want to be higher than high, free my soul to fly. Yeah, I want to be living inside your love. Living inside your love. Don't you want to be living inside of love? Your love. Hey, Daniel. Living inside your love. Woo! I had so much fun recording that. That's Charles Laster. We recorded that in Tennessee at my little brother Terry Tripp's house in Nashville, Tennessee. And you can actually find that on iTunes. It's a album called Come Let Us Worship that I recorded all these love duets of worship with Charles Laster out of Detroit, who's got to be one of the best worship leaders in the land. Amazing voice. And so you can actually get it there, or if you can't find it there, you can go on my website and go into the resources and download it from there. Thank you, Shannon. I'm glad you like my voice. I just try to lift it to the Lord. And thank you for the badge. Thank you. That is so sweet. Get some friends on. Tune up. You know that I'm Michelle McKinney Hammond, best-selling author, relationship expert and life coach. And I am going to be doing a series of lives on relationships from a book I have called How to Make Love Work. We're going to be talking about that. I want to take your questions. This is your night. I'm going to be on for let's say a half hour because I wanted to hit hard and fast, okay? And then I've got news for you on top of that. So you need to start tuning up, asking me those questions now. Hi, Victoria. You're a new viewer. Well, we come on and we talk about love. We talk about anything you want to talk about. I'm not afraid of any question. So lay it on me. I am always happy to answer questions. You have a question, Tega? What is your question?
I was walking today on the soulmate video.
They can't hear you. She's way across the room asking a question that you can't hear. Okay. So I don't know how many of you have been privy to a video that is on my YouTube channel called Soulmate. It was done with the amazing producer Andrea Wiley, who has produced Moesha, a bunch of stuff, Fresh Prince. You know, she's just done tons of work. She made this documentary about single women, Black single women in particular, the things that they face, their struggles with singleness and everything. And I was the expert on that documentary. And so now, Tega, you have a question because you were watching the documentary.
So I'm watching this documentary,
Uh-huh.
and we get to the part talking about loneliness.
About loneliness.
Yes, and it was quite emotional.
Very emotional.
And very empathic to like see women break down and saying that when they come home and open the house, they want somebody in there because it feels like God has blessed them with all these stuff, and it's just them in the house. And it was quite very sad to see like them and the frustration of just tired of just being single. And I mean, I watched that documentary 50 million times, but just I don't know why it was just very sad for me to see how frustrated people were. And somebody said,
"No one can hear you. You're not talking loud enough." So she was saying that she's been watching this documentary that we did, and that a lot of people said that they were tired of coming home alone. They were very broken over the fact that they were tired of being single, tired of coming home and having no one there to welcome them.
They were frustrated.
They were frustrated
about being single. Do you hear me?
Hey.
So they were tired about being single or whatever. And one of them made a statement like, I feel like my singleness has run its course.
Okay, someone said they felt their singleness had run its course. Thank you, Victoria. I know that Caucasian girls love me too, and I love you back. Thank you.
But she said, but it's not for me to decide, it's for God to decide. But she could clearly say, God, I'm deciding this singleness is done. I'm tired of it. So I just want to address the issue of loneliness in singlehood and the frustration that comes along with being lonely. Did you hear me?
Loneliness is such a sad affair. I fell in love with you. That was one of my favorite songs. Luther Blackwell sang it. Bette Midler sang it. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? That was the song. Anyway, it just made me think of that line from the song when she said loneliness. But loneliness is real. But let me just say here that loneliness doesn't just happen to single people. It also happens to married people. So what we all need to do is learn how to master that one-eyedness, because if you take the L off, lone is one-eyedness. What does that mean? Okay. I think that when we get really, really focused on ourselves, it becomes easier to feel lonely. That is not an indictment. That's not saying that you're selfish. What it's saying is that you need to have a great distraction in your life that does not allow that feeling to settle into your life. I remember when I was reading this book, He's Not That Into You. The author said that he felt all single people should get a dog. That dogs were God's way of saying, don't settle for less just because you're alone. And, I find that to be true. Maybe that's why I have three dogs. I don't know. I am not lonely. Okay. But all of that to say, too, that I think that as single people, we have to learn how to have a network, a support system, and things that fill us to the full, so that when we get home, home is an oasis, whether there's someone in it or not. Our mindset has to shift. And we definitely have to see home as a place that is a sanctuary. It is a place where we go to refuel, renew, refresh. And you can't always do that with people. Now, I understand you could say, Michelle, it's nice some days, but there's just some days. Do you know married people say the same thing? There are days when married people go home and wish nobody was there. And there are days that single people go home and wish somebody was there. It seems like we are never satisfied, right? And that's why we've got to look at life through the big lens. Okay, someone has a question. What if that distraction is not enough? You still feel lonely inside. Then it's an issue inside. So why are we lonely? Let's discuss this. What makes you feel lonely? Tell me the times specifically that you feel lonely.
I have one.
Okay.
When I travel and I come back to the airport and I have to get a car to take myself home, that's when I feel very lonely. But when I get home, I'm like, Mommy!
Okay, so Tega says when she takes a trip and she lands in the airport and she has to get a car to bring herself home, then she gets home and I'm here. So then, yay! Woohoo! Okay, I mean, my pet peeve actually is being at the airport and not having someone to pick me up. But I think it's more convenience for me than me really wanting someone to be there. So I think that too, that this is something that we grow through. Because I do remember when I used to be really lonely. And I think it was because I was focused on emptiness rather than what the options were in my world. And I think too, that sometimes loneliness is good. I know you didn't expect me to say that.
What if it's getting really, really long? Like,
Well, you're honestly very rarely lonely. Yeah, I think loneliness is really about where your focus is, because you can actually be in a crowded room and be lonely. So loneliness is not a state of being, it's a state of mind. Okay. Someone is saying times when you get home from work, there's no one to talk to, no one to cuddle, and you feel you're not enough or no one finds you worthy. Wow.
see, that's what the women were saying. Like, they don't have anybody to cuddle. I'm like, cuddle the pillow, but okay. Like, they don't have anybody to cuddle. And I would hear people say these things and I cannot relate. But for some reason today, I was like, this is really sad.
Yeah. It is sad, but once again, I do feel it is a frame of mind and that we can actually increase our loneliness by dwelling on that feeling as opposed to shifting our focus to something that uh, brings joy to us. It can be talking to a friend on the phone. It can be watching something amazing on television. It could be reading a book and really feeding your soul, putting on music and creating your own atmosphere in your home. Okay, someone says they feel lonely around the holidays, just sharing life in an intimate with the correct person. That's true. Um, But these feelings pass. Someone says, I'm a 34-year-old virgin. I have the desire to be married and I'm waiting for the person that God has ordained for me. I think marriage might not happen. How can I learn to wait patiently? Well, at 34, you're just beginning life. I always get tickled when people so young are like already in the urgent stage about getting married. I'm sure that it's probably a biological clock issue involved there, but let me just say that God's timing is the best. Um, Now you can be proactive in being out there circulating so that you're in a position to meet people, to have great male friends so that that male void is not so huge. I actually am a little stymied by How many people say they don't have good friends or they don't have friends that are members of the opposite sex? It is important for you to have a healthy network of friends on both sides of the divide. I mean, it is critical. And I believe that a lot of loneliness comes from not having those friendships. And so you've got to show it's not a matter of being worthy. Are you showing yourself friendly? And can you be friends with a man, ladies, without a plan to marry that person? Can they just be a good friend? Can you just be a friend, men, to that woman in your life? I believe that when you have a healthy network of friendships going, it cuts down that lonely feeling. You might have that feeling once in a while, but it will pass because that's just normal and natural. And again, I have to reiterate here that a lot of times married people are also lonely. And that's horrible because then what's your excuse? That's worse. I mean, that's just even worse because you don't even have an excuse for being lonely. You are married, you have a partner, and you're still lonely. The person is either distant physically or emotionally, and that is even worse. Someone says, I love just being me, enjoying a book and enjoying life. I've been single for years and can count the times I'm lonely. Yes, see, I think it's a mindset. I think that it's a focus thing. And I think that the mindset occurs when you give into the pressure that, hey, you should be married by now. Who says so? Who set the clock on the mantle? Did God tell you you should be married by now? Remember, no good thing will he withhold from those who walk uprightly before him. So if it's good for you, you would have it right now. If you don't have it now, now is the time to start to nurture your soul, to get relationship skills sharpened so that you're ready when that person steps into your life. Okay, somebody says, I think sometimes you have friends, you have good intentions, but they have a different agenda that they also want something from you. Well, that can cut both ways. I think that there are a lot of women who have male friends who are waiting for them to wake up and smell the coffee and decide that they're the one. So what has to happen in these relationships is, first of all, ladies, if a man steps to you, know that his first inclination is that he's interested in you. Okay. Now you may not be interested in him. So now you have to master the relationship and make a friendship out of that because you shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That same guy who was interested in you that you're not interested in can become your champion in life and become one of your best friends if you navigate it properly. And all that is staying very clear with him about the fact that you're not interested in having a relationship, but you think he's a great person and you really, really want to be friends. He might not like that initially, but he'll settle in because if that's all of you that he can get, then he will take that. And that's the way men operate. You know what I mean? So it's very, very important that we start to shift the paradigm on how we think, how we approach things, how we process where we are right now. It is important to appreciate the blessings of where you are right now. It is a season. Seasons pass. Nothing comes to stay. It all comes to pass. And so you've got to take the time to nurture your soul to a place of wholeness where you enjoy your own company as much as you enjoy the company of others. As a matter of fact, you should enjoy your own company more than you enjoy the company of others. Because if you met yourself walking down the street right now, you should want to be your best friend. And when you get to that point in life, you will actually attract the love you've been looking for because you won't just be interested, as my dear friend Lucy Swindoll, God rest her soul, she always used to say, don't just be interested, be interesting. And as long as there's a void in your heart that you're looking for someone else to fill, that is going to give off a pheromone called desperation. And let me tell you, people can smell desperation and they either take advantage of it or flee from it. Those are the two options when we're desperate. When we're scraping the bottom of the barrel in loneliness and we're miserable about where we are, that opens us for deception and just, disappointment, deception and disappointment. So it is very, very important to get to a healthy place, right? Where you enjoy being you. Now, let me just ask you this. What are your interests? What are you interested in doing besides, getting married? Because what I want you to do is I want you to become a well-rounded person that is exciting, and guy is like, wow, look at this girl, look at this, and girl is looking at the guy saying, wow, look at him, man, they really got it going on. I want to be a part of that. I mean, your life should be the party someone wants to attend. I always say it, I stand by it, that your life should be filled with amazing things going on. And guess what? You get to create your life. You get to create your world. It is critical that you start with you. Love begins with you. And when the right things are in place, you're a magnet, man. You're going to have to make a decision on who you want to be bothered with. So let's do the work on ourselves. And that brings me to a point. The new Love You Masterclass semester is beginning September 13th, right, Tega?
Yes.
September 13th, yes. So if you have not taken the course, you need to take the course, because what I find is that we study for everything else in life except the most important job we'll ever have, and that is relationships. When we learn about ourselves, when we learn about our heart, when we learn what love really is so that we know what to look for, we stand a much better, we're in a better position to acquire the love that we want. Okay, you've got travel and school plus spending time. Guess what? I'm doing a tour. It's on the website now, right? MMH Tours. Have we added that to the pop-up? We did? Have we added it to the pop-up?
Pop-up, to Main.
Okay, yeah, we need to add it to the pop-up. So anyway, MMH Tours is starting with trips to Ghana. Come over, hang out with me for a week, hang out with me for 7 days. Or is there a cost to the course? Yes, there is. And I have made it available in different levels for you. The course is, well, when you get on the link, you will see the price of the course. And there are payment plans, or if you pay the full amount up front, you get a free one-on-one coaching hour with me. Also, for those, no, I'm not coming anywhere. I'm inviting people to come to Ghana. That's the tour. I'm not going to be doing a tour where I'm traveling around coming to you for another year, probably. When COVID is finally finished passing over, then I will do a tour.
So let's talk about the Love You Masterclass.
Okay.
Before we proceed, I hope you guys can hear me. So Love You Masterclass is a 60 days videotaped intensive relationship class.
Okay, let me say it on screen so they can really hear me. Can you hear her? Yeah. Can you hear Tega?
Say it. It's a 60 days intensive relationship class pre-taped for you to take. Okay, let me tell you what you get.
I'm going to make her do some of these on screen with me since she likes to interject so much. And then, okay, she wants me to focus and do this. Okay, because I do get carried away. And I'm seeing another thing. Is it that my standard is too high? Not everyone has access to me because I set a particular standard for myself. Not every man I meet has been able to meet these standards. Is that why I'm lonely? Oh, that's a good question. And I have a whole class on that in Love You.
What you get.
Okay. So let me tell you what you get in the Love You Masterclass, because it's a lot. All my friends are telling me that I've made the class too cheap. And I've made it cheaper because I want people to have access to the class. I am more focused on people getting the right information so that they're equipped to have a healthy mindset and be able to get the relationships that they want. So when you sign up for the Love You Masterclass, what you get is a 60-day course filmed for you to learn at your own pace, okay? Then there's the Love You workbook. It's like a devotional, and it asks you for reflections from what you're learning in the class. Then you'll have 6 live masterclass Q&A sessions with moi. So there's 10 lessons in every module. There's 6 modules, and after each module, we do a masterclass to review the information, to for me to answer any questions. You go, Michelle, what did you mean when you said that? Because I'm not getting it, or whatever, Also, you get access to the Love You community page. And let me tell you, The community of people who have been in this class are absolutely amazing. This is the third semester that we will be starting September 13th. And the first semester people came back to class because once you get in, you've got access forever. And they decided they needed to do the class again because there were questions they were not able to answer the first go round, and they decided they needed to do the review. And they're all in the master class. They've formed community. They are chatting with each other, not just on Facebook in the private page, but also in WhatsApp. They have become a community of friends, and they're encouraging one another, praying for one another, sharing the struggles that they're going through. So now they're not feeling lonely because they've tapped into community. And that is something that a lot of you need to do. You'll also get 2 free novels from me, and we're going to do a movie night. We're going to watch Soulmate together. So those are the things that you get in the Love You Masterclass. And for those of you who wrote me and said that they had a struggle with either the time commitment or the money, I have developed something especially for you called Love Capsules. Now, what Love Capsules is it's a hybrid of the masterclass. You're not getting everything you're getting in the masterclass, but you get 3 capsules every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, delivered to your email box. Short lessons that you can watch at your leisure, with 3 reflection questions at the end of each lesson. So in a sense, you're getting the masterclass, but it's taking you a much longer time because it's a shorter, sound bite of the class, but it's just enough for you to think about and absorb and really get into your system before you move on to the next one. Now that actually is a subscription for a year. So you literally will get 3 messages every week, 3 capsules every week for a year. And that is priced at a subscription price. So you pay a little monthly fee, and there's 2 levels of that. One gets you into the MMH tribe, where you will have a Bible class with me once a month, or you can do just the level 1 love capsule. So there are 3 options there for you to do the masterclass, which is much more of an intensive that I highly recommend. But love capsules is juicy too. So that's something that you can manage financially and time-wise, then that's the option for you. Anything else that I need to say, Tega, about that?
The Love You Masterclass also is broken into payment plans.
Yes, the Love You Masterclass, I mentioned that. The Love You Masterclass does offer you payment plans. If you pay the full amount up front, you get a coaching session with me. So that is how the Love You Masterclass goes. And I'm really excited about it because I've been seeing the results of it. We even have one of the ladies who is divorced, but her ex-husband is noticing such a transformation in her that he's starting to watch the class. Maybe you think they might get back together?
And he'll get in the line because she's hot now.
Oh my goodness, we might have a little love match going on here, all because of class. So see, it is transforming people, it's empowering people. I'm literally watching the countenance of people changing as they take this class. It is amazing that people who came in looking kind of gray are now all fluffed up and vibrant and contributing to our live sessions together. I have to pry myself off of there. We always end up going over. It's supposed to be a 2-hour class. They end up on there. I'm sure that if I sat there, they would just talk all night.
The last time,
oh my goodness,
the 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago? The last master class before the one yesterday, we ended up staying for about 4.5 hours until my battery died.
Yeah, I left. Okay, let me just make it clear that they were on there for 4 hours talking, but I left after 2 hours and they kept going. You know why though? Because they were talking about sex. We had a whole conversation about sex and intimacy, and they could not stop talking. Oh my goodness. And I, at one point, I felt like I was just too young for the conversation. I'm just going to tell you, I thought I was too young for the conversation. But that is the beauty of it, that we all form community. And what I'm loving about this group is that they are transparent, they are authentic, they're not afraid to share their hearts or their burdens. And you should see everybody diving into the love pool when somebody starts crying or shares something that's really painful. So it is a very supportive network that I invite you to join, because we've just been having an amazing time. But above all of that, I'm seeing that the material literally is empowering people. It's changing their mindset about singleness, about themselves, about being lonely. They're making that shift where they're becoming healthy. And when you become healthy, that's when you are ready for love. Listen, if you're broken, if you're looking for someone to fill the empty places in your heart, in your life, it is a setup for you to end up with the wrong person, because your expectations are in the wrong place, and you will be seduced by the void in you rather than by the things that you value. You need to know a lot of things before you even approach having a relationship. Who are you? Do you know who you are? If you don't know who you are, you don't know who fits into your world and who you'll be a compliment to. What is love? If you don't know what love really looks like, you might misread the signals and the signs and think that you're being loved, but actually you're not. Lots of things to think about. So I want you to really seriously consider joining us for the Love You Masterclass that starts again September 13th. If you go to the link that's in the website, in the chat, and click on that, it will take you to find out all the information about it. I do a class about standards versus expectations, so that you can know if you've got realistic expectations and standards, when compromises need to be made, and which things are real deal breakers that are not acceptable at any time. I think a lot of times we end up settling because we start to question our own standards and expectations, and we shouldn't. Those things are in place as guides for us. You getting your life together is a filter for the deceptions, for the what do they call those things? I don't know. I'm having a brain freeze moment. But it always comes before the blessing. So it's really, really important for you. The counterfeit, that's what I was trying to say. You'll end up settling for the counterfeit and miss the blessing. So let's get wise about love. We need to get wise about love. And then we're going to learn how to make love work. It's very important for us to know the basics of the expectations of what should be going on in a real healthy love relationship. There are certain components that are needed, and there are protocols to love. Did you know that love doesn't just happen? It's not this just organic thing. It's not about just the chemicals. There really are some things that need to be put in place for love to operate smoothly and for your relationship to grow in a healthy manner where it's sustained and maintained over time. When you meet old couples and you say, wow, you all are amazing together, they say, we didn't start off that way. They did the work. They did the work to make love work. And so, all I want to say is that I want you to join the class. I'm going to take one more question before I sign off. I will be coming on pretty often during this month because I want to give everybody the opportunity to join the Love You Masterclass. I did mention MMH Tours is also alive and up. If you're interested in coming to Ghana, come home with me. I want to show you around. It's an amazing place, and I'll give you the inside look at Ghana, West Africa, where I abide at this time. Let me see. Anything else? Are we covering anything else?
Did you answer the question about loneliness?
Pardon me?
Did you answer the question about loneliness?
I did.
Okay.
I did answer the question about loneliness.
Sign up for love, you guys. I am telling you, it is worth the investment. You see how relationship can affect your life. So don't be casual about your relationships, be it romantic, friendship. I mean, the class is covering everything, not
Yes.
just how to
Yes.
get a man or
Whatever
one.
relationship you're having, it covers it. So there have been some family restoration stories, and even how to get along with coworkers, how to sort out your friends. I mean, this class is all about you. Love begins with you being a healthy person who's walking in love and just surrounded by love already. Have you ever noticed that when you don't have a relationship, it seems like nobody's interested in you? And then the minute someone starts talking to you, folks start crawling out the woodwork, and you're like, well, where were you when there was nobody talking to me? It's because you've released a different chemical into the atmosphere and your countenance has changed. You don't know it. But they say that when you're in love, or when the prospect of love is in your life, it takes 10 years off your face. How about that? So here you go. When you are walking in love already, you are a constant magnet for love, and you get to pick. That's what happens. One of the ladies in the class says she's got men coming out the woodwork now because she finally got happy. Okay. So I want to help you get to that place where you're so healthy and you're so at peace and you're so full of love and you're so fulfilled that you just start to attract all that love without looking for it. Because that's the best kind of love, when you can pick and have your options and say, no, no, not you. But keep all of them for friends. Because you know what? When I meet guys, I'm like, what do you do? Oh, you're an attorney? I need one of those in my life. You going in the attorney file in my friendship file, okay? There's room for everybody, because people are what makes us better people. We learn from other people. That support system is important. They're valuable resources, not just to take, but also to give. And so it's very, very important that we learn how to have rich friendships that lead to love. At the end of the day, you should be marrying your best friend. What happens is, though, is that we meet people and we go, ooh, I like that person, potential mate. Based on what? What information do you have on that person that lets you know that man is married, that woman is marriage material? You don't have enough information. You just know that you're having a reaction, that there's an attraction. But guess what? The attraction can go south when you find out that they don't value any of the things that you value. They're not nice people, whatever. So let us not categorize people on first meeting. There's no such thing as love at first sight. Love is something that grows. Love is a decision, and it's based on information gathered that we've decided, yes, this person adds something to my life and I can add something to theirs. So let us be very clear that love doesn't just happen. It's not organic. It is an educated choice that we make. God so loved the world. Guess what? He decided to love us. It said that he created us because he wanted us to be here. For his pleasure, he created us to the glory of his own name. So he made a decision to love us even when we were unlovely. And so here we go. As human beings, we don't have as big a heart as God does, but he certainly wants us to love intelligently and to make right choices and not just be loving based on fumes and chemistry. Because I don't know if you've ever watched a science movie, when they put that liquid in the tube, in the snifter, it goes, and then a minute later it's flat. And that's what I'd say about chemistry. And then a minute later, it's flat. So let's not go on chemistry. Let's gather information. Let's know what we're falling in love with, if it's worthy of that type of access to our hearts. A lot of us are throwing our hearts up in the air, hoping somebody will catch it. We don't know if they're qualified. We don't know if they have a catcher's mitt. We don't know if they have capacity to hold what we have to offer. And how bad is it when, one of the elders in the Love You class always says, I gave my best before I knew that the person was going to give me their all. Let's get out of those bad habits. We're going to break cycles. In this class, we teach you about how to break cycles of unsuccessful relationships. Remember that woman at the well? She had 5 husbands, made a vow, and now she was either living with somebody or having an affair. We don't know the particulars on why Jesus said the one you're with now is not yours, but clearly it was not the right kind of relationship. And so when we get to that place where we're making vows because we've been disappointed so much, we start to make bad choices that we think are the prop up, that we think are the band-aid, that we think are okay for us to get through and survive on, but it really plunges us deeper into the depression and the disappointment, and we become hard. That's not where you want to go. You want to keep your heart soft, but you want to be wise about who you give access to. The Bible says to guard your heart, because out of it the issues of life and death flow. And that's true. You know, when your heart is broken, it's hard to function. You don't work well. If you're in school, you can't study. You can't function. Some people stop eating. Nothing makes me stop eating, okay? I'm sorry. On that one, heartbreak has never made me lose my appetite. Thank you, Jesus. I love me some food. However, that being said, our heart condition affects every other area of our lives. So it behooves us to do the work, to get the information, to align ourselves in knowledge so that we walk in wisdom and our heart is not repeatedly shattered because we don't know what to do. We don't know what to look for. We don't know the warning signs. We don't see the red flags. We think it's love. He loves me. He loves me not. If you have to ask, he doesn't love you. Okay. So, I just want to encourage you again that this class has been made just for you to help you navigate, get the wisdom to make the right choices in love, and to get the love you want and live the life that you need to live. You know what? It's life. Love is just one part of life. Okay. But it's the foundation. So let's get a healthy foundation. Okay. And, I'm here to help you and navigate you through that. So I hope that you'll sign up for the Love You Masterclass, and I'll see you again tomorrow. God bless.